it's Leah May Aldrich here, BFA Musical Theater major at the University of Memphis. We're going to get started with a 30-minute yoga class in about 2 minutes. But before we get started, just to want to make sure you have a few things with you, I encourage you, if you have a yoga mat or aerobic mat, to go ahead and get that out. It can also be done with any type of beach towel. And I recommend you having some type of water bottle or water next to you, just so you don't have to leave the screen and go get your water. But we have about 2 minutes before we get started, so I'm just gonna stay on here. Thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited. I hope everyone is being safe and healthy during this pandemic time. Just a little bit about the class. This can be done anywhere. I'm outside right now on my front porch, but this can be done in your house, on wood, on a carpet, on any type of flat material. You won't need much space. I'll probably just use the area of my mat. But if you feel like you're running out of space or anything, that's no big deal. I'll offer modifications for all of the steps. Let's see who's on. Hey Cameron, go Liam, hey, thanks. Very, very excited. My sister Hannah is on the other side of the camera, so that way I'm able to teach to someone in person, and she's gonna give me the go when it's exactly 3 o'clock. Yay, so exciting. Make sure you tune in on Friday. One of our BFA dance majors, Catherine, is going to be teaching a yoga class at 3 o'clock on Friday. She is spectacular. I know I'll be watching, so make sure that you guys tune in for that as well. She's gonna be great. Pretty close. Okay, friends, hi. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I have a few things before I get started with the class. Because I'm not there in person to give you adjustments, I just want to go over a few things to make sure that you're keeping yourself safe to do this. Throughout the class, I'm going to be offering modifications for any of the moves. Modifications does not necessarily make the move easier. It can actually sometimes make the move more difficult. If anything in your body feels pain or tense, I encourage you to evaluate what's going on and realize, is it pain because it hurts, or is it a challenge? I encourage you to challenge yourself, but I never want you to be in pain for anything. Just a few things about alignment before we get started. We're gonna do a lot of things on our hands and knees using our wrist. And when you're on your hands and knees, can you see me here? Yeah, perfect. We wanna make sure that our wrist and shoulders are in line with each other. This kind of alignment. So we want to make sure we're not here in front, unless I specifically tell you. And more importantly, we want to make sure we're not like this. This can really put a lot of tension on your wrist. And lastly, if your wrists feel any tension, you can also come in on your fist. Okay, great. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let me play the music. Okay guys, so we're gonna start down on our mat or your towel, whatever you have. And we're gonna start in some type of seated position that's comfy for you. This can be crisscross, this can be your legs open, legs out, whatever's comfortable. And we're gonna find our center. We're gonna sit as tall as we can. So we want the crown of our head almost like we're a puppet hanging from a string. Sitting nice and tall. The type of yoga that I'm trained in is called vinyasa, which means with the breath. So we're gonna start by bringing our focus into our breath. So I'm gonna inhale for a count of 4, and I'm gonna exhale for a count of 4. Before I keep going, can everyone hear me on the video with the music? I can't read the comments. Can you hear me? Maybe turn it down just a little bit. Okay, great. So we're gonna start with an inhale on 4 and an exhale on 4. Let's inhale 4 and exhale. Inhale through our nose, exhale through our mouth. Now we're gonna close our eyes and really focus. Inhale, exhale. 2 more times, inhale. Let's exhale. Keeping our eyes closed, let's drop our chin down to our chest. Finding your breath here. And let's roll our neck shoulder to shoulder, ear to ear. So dropping one ear to one side. Holding here for an exhale and an inhale. And switching sides. One more time, both directions. Last one. Chin back to your chest. Lifting our face. And opening our eyes. Go ahead and set an intention for yourself. This can be something physical. Maybe you want to gain flexibility or physical strength. This will also be to get in tune with your body. Maybe you're doing this with someone that you're in quarantine with. So really connecting to that person. And let's go. So we're going to start on our hands and knees. And again, remembering that alignment. Our wrist and our shoulders in line. Our knees and our hips in line. And we're going to start with cat and cow. So we're going to inhale, and we're going to bring the crown of our head and the top of our tailbone to the ceiling. And we're going to inhale and tuck that tailbone, bringing our chin into our chest. Continue this back and forth using your own breath patterns. I like to inhale here and exhale here. One more time, both directions. Coming to a neutral spine. Make sure you're looking down at your mat, keeping your neck in line. When you're ready, we're gonna lift one of our feet up into the sky. I'm gonna do my right, whichever side you want. We want our foot to be either pointed or flexed. Make sure our leg is engaged. You can hold it here if you wanna go for a challenge. We're gonna pulse for 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bringing that leg back down to meet the other. And when you're ready, lifting your opposite leg. Making sure that foot is either pointed or flexed. We're gonna pulse for 8, 7, 6, 7, 3, 2, 1. Hold up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing your knee back to meet the other one. We're gonna sit back on our ankles, extend our arms in front of us, and sit back in child's pose. Throughout the class, if you ever need a break, child's pose is a great pose for you to come to lower your heart rate and to keep your body extended. Coming back on our hands and knees. We're gonna do fire hydrant a few times. So what we're gonna do, our leg is going to maintain that 90 degree, and we're gonna lift it over to the side. We're gonna do 8 on each side. Here we go. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switching sides. Here we go. 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Drop, bringing your knees in balance. Let's do a few more cat and cows. Great, let's open our knees, sit back in child's pose. We're gonna extend one arm up to the ceiling and weave it under our other, laying on those shoulders. Switching sides, extending the other arm up to the ceiling and weaving through. Extending that arm back out, finding your breath. Coming up on your hands and knees. Tucking your toes, we're gonna extend up to downward facing dog. And we're gonna walk our hands in to meet our feet and roll up slowly. Nice job, you guys. Hopefully you feel warmed up. Go ahead and grab a drink and we're gonna get started with our sun salutations. I think everyone can hear me. Perfect. Okay guys, so sun salutations is a flow, and this is considered the cardio of vinyasa practice. So we're gonna go through a series of movements over and over. Once you get the series down, feel free to go at a slower tempo or a faster tempo, depending on what you want. I'll also be offering modifications throughout this. We're gonna start in a standing position at the top of our mat. And we're gonna start by finding mountain pose. So what we want is we wanna make sure our tailbone is tucked underneath and not popping out. We want our feet to be hips width apart. We're gonna bring our shoulders up to the sky and roll back. And we're gonna open our palms to the front. Great, and finding that tall position that we found at the beginning of class, almost that puppet standing from a string. Finding your breath. When you're ready, we're gonna inhale, bringing our arms up to the ceiling, and exhale down to forward fold. We're gonna extend our right foot back into a lunge. We wanna look at the alignment here of our ankle and our knee. We want them to be aligned, or our ankle in front of our knee. We wanna make sure we don't look like this. When you're ready, we're gonna extend our arms up to the ceiling. An easy modification here, you can come down on your knee and do the same movement. Bringing our hands down to meet our left foot back to downward facing dog. Shifting our weight to plank. Again, an easy modification here is coming down on those knees. We're gonna yoga push-up down. So the difference between a yoga push-up, a regular push-up, we're gonna have our elbows out. For a yoga push-up, we're gonna keep our elbows into our body, and we're gonna do it for a slow count of 3. So yoga push-up for 3, 2, 1. Great. Then we're gonna come on our elbows into cobra. Let's look both sides. Looking the other way. Bring our hands back to our shoulders. Tucking our toes back to downward dog. We're gonna bring our right foot up to the ceiling and through our hands for lunge. Again, that modification coming down on your knee. When you find your balance, bring your hands up to the ceiling. Hands down by your right foot, left foot up, forward fold. We're gonna inhale, flat back. So our hands are gonna reach toward the back, and we're gonna have a flat back, parallel with the floor. We're gonna exhale, bring our arms to the ceiling, and sit back into chair. In chair, you wanna have all your weight in your heels. Bring your hands to heart center, reach up, gentle back bend, and swan dive down. We're gonna do the sequence again. So bringing our right foot back into lunge, modifying if you need to, bringing your hands up to the ceiling. Hands down by your left foot back, downward facing dog. Shifting your weight to plank. Yoga push-up for 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna come all the way up to upward facing dog. We wanna make sure our shoulders are not by our ears like this. Again, an easy modification like we did earlier is being on those elbows. Tucking your toes, down dog. Bring our right foot up to the ceiling and through our hands for lunge. Extending those arms up, modifying if you need to. Hands down by the right foot, left foot up, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chair. Hands to heart center, reach up, gentle back bend. Swan dive down to forward fold. Reaching your right foot back, lunge, bringing your arms up to the ceiling. We're gonna speed it up just a little bit. Hands down by the left foot back, downward facing dog. Shifting right to plank. Yoga push-up for 3, 2, 1. Up dog. Tuck your toes, down dog. Bring your right foot up to the ceiling and through your hands for lunge. Hands up toward the ceiling. Hands down by the right foot, left foot up, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chair. Hands to heart center, reach up. We're gonna do the flow 2 more times. Swan dive down. Right foot back for lunge, bring your hands up to the ceiling. Hands down by the left foot back, downward facing dog. Shifting your right to plank. Yoga push-up for 3, 2, 1. Upward facing dog, you're doing great. Tuck your toes, down dog. Right foot up to the ceiling, through your hands for lunge. Bringing your arms up to the ceiling. Hands down by the right foot, left foot up, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chair. Hands to heart center, last one. Down to forward fold. Bring your right foot back, hands up to the ceiling. Hands down by the left foot back, downward facing dog. Shifting your right to plank. Yoga push-up for 3, 2, 1. Upward facing dog. Tuck your toes, down dog. Right foot up to the ceiling, through your hands. Arms to the sky. Hands down by the right foot, left foot up, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chair. Hands to heart center, reach up. Gentle back bend. Great job, you guys. Go ahead and grab a drink if you need. We're gonna go into a few standing poses. These are what, if it's your first time doing yoga, this is probably what you know about based on pictures and stuff. We're gonna start in our standing position. Finding mountain, tucking our tailbone, finding strength in our legs, bringing our feet hips width, shoulders up, shoulders back, hands to the front. Remembering your intention that you set at the beginning of class, finding your breath. We're gonna start with tree pose. So when you're ready, we're gonna shift our weight over to one side. And we're gonna start by just finding our balance here by slowly lifting that other foot off the mat. When you're ready, we're gonna open our hip and bring the sole of that foot either to your ankle, your calf, or your thigh. The only place that foot can't be is on your knee. We don't want to blow any knees out over Facebook Live. So finding a comfortable spot for your foot and remaining tall and breathe. Our arms are our branches. And above your head. If you want a challenge here, you can close your eyes or you can look up. Continue to breathe. When you're ready, bring your hands down, relaxing that foot, rolling out that ankle. Nice job, you guys. We're gonna do it on the other side. Make sure you put your foot in the same position that you had it on the opposite. Starting in mountain pose. Shoulders up, shoulders back. Hands to the front. Finding your breath. When you're ready, we're gonna shift our weight over to the opposite side. Just finding your balance at first. And bringing your foot to the position that you had it before. So either on your ankle, your calf, or up to your thigh. Anywhere but your knee. Finding your balance and breathing. Having your arms be your branches. Finding a position that makes you feel powerful. Again, if you want to challenge, closing your eyes or looking up. Nice job. Dropping your arms, dropping your leg, rolling out that ankle. Great. We're going to do one more standing pose, and this is called the dancer pose, so hopefully we have some dancers watching the video. We're going to start in mountain pose, so bringing our feet in line with our hips, shoulders up, shoulders back. Finding your balance on 2 feet. My teacher always says if you can't balance on 2 feet, you have no business balancing on one. And when you're ready, we're going to shift our weight over to the side. When you feel confident, you're going to bring this foot up to meet our tush and grab the back of our foot, the top of our foot with that hand. And when you're ready, we're going to flip the way we have that foot. And you can stay here if you want. If you want to keep going, we're going to bring our opposite hand up to the sky. And we're going to start to shift our weight forward, kicking our foot into our hand. And breathe. Bringing your knee back to meet your other, flipping your hand, arm up, dropping your hands, dropping your foot, rolling out that ankle. Nice job, you guys. If you're familiar with the scorpion or needle, that is a very advanced position of the dancer pose, but feel free to do that if you've got it. Coming back to mountain pose, shoulders up, shoulders back, finding our balance on 2 feet. Shifting our weight to the other side. When you're ready, bring your foot up to your tailbone, grabbing it with your hand, flipping your hold, bring your opposite hand up to the sky. You can stay here if you'd like. If you want to keep going, shifting our weight forward, kicking that foot into our hand. And breathe. Nice job, you guys. Bring your knees back to meet. Hands up to the sky. And release, rolling out that ankle. Nice job. I'm gonna turn it down just a little. Great, we're gonna go forward to go into some floor stretches. And we're gonna start back on our hands and knees where we started. We're gonna start with pigeon pose. This is my favorite pose. I carry a lot of stress in my hips, and anyone watching, if you do too, this will be a great pose to release that stress and extend the flexibility in those hips. So starting with our hands and knees. So choosing whichever side, it doesn't matter. We're gonna bring our ankle to meet our wrist. So opposite ankle to wrist. And when you're ready, we're gonna walk that back foot back. A modification for this step is bringing your heel back toward your tailbone. The goal of this move is to have your leg parallel with the top of your mat. We also want to make sure we're sitting in the middle and not off on those hips. If this is enough for you, if you really feel it here, feel free to stop here, but breathe. If you want to keep going, we're going to extend forward on our elbows. If you want to keep going all the way down to the mat. And breathe. If you're on the ground, coming back up to your elbows. If you're on your elbows, coming back up to your hands. Nice job. So we're going to tuck our toes. We're going to come into a plank and back on our hands and knees. And we're going to do the opposite side. So bringing that ankle to meet your wrist. And walking that foot to the back. Again, modifying if you need to, bringing that ankle to the back. Making sure we're the center, not over to the side. Again, if this is enough, feeling the stretch here, breathing. If you want to keep going, coming down on those elbows. Remembering your intention, remembering your breath. You want to keep going all the way down to the mat. Coming back up to your elbows if you're down on the mat. Coming up on your hands. Tucking those toes, coming back to plank, back on those hands and knees. Nice job, you guys. We're going to come to a seated position. We have one more stretch before we're going into Savasana, which if you've done yoga before, you know what I'm talking about. And this move is called roly-poly. So what we're going to do, it massages the vertebrae of your spine, but we want to make sure we continue to keep a curve in our spine. This is something that I haven't told you to do the entire practice. So we want to have curve. We're going to come up into a nice tight ball. Oh, hey, baby. Coming into a tight ball. Hey, Hello, hello. And we're gonna bring our feet off the mat, finding our balance. And when you're ready, we're just gonna roll back. Back on our tailbone. The goal is to not bring your feet back to the mat. If this hurts in any way, please don't extend yourself. Let's do one more. Great, releasing, coming back to a seated position. Grabbing a drink, and we're gonna go into Savasana. So typically what every yoga class ends with is a move called Savasana. And it's a move where it's also called corpse pose. So we're gonna lay on our mat and we're gonna relax every part of our body. And this sounds easy, but it's actually more difficult than you think. And the main thing we relax here is our mind. And if it helps, you can focus on your breath during this move. And the song I think is 3 minutes. So this is 3 minutes that you can give to yourself to relax, not think about the world around you. Feel proud of yourself for tuning into this Facebook Live Facebook. Yeah, so let's get started. You're really gonna love it. So we're gonna start by finding a seated position with our feet extended, making sure we are on some type of comfy material. And when you're ready, we're gonna lean back. Starting by relaxing your hands and wrist, finding a floating position on the mat, letting your feet open to the side. And when you're ready, closing your eyes. You can use these next few minutes to count the things that you're thankful for, the positive things you've been able to discover during this difficult time. You can focus on your breath, the inhale, the exhale. Going to a happy memory. And breathing. Shavasana. Starting to bring feeling back to your body, wiggling your fingers and toes, rolling your ankles and wrists. When you're ready, shifting your way over to roll on one side like you just woke up in the morning. Coming back up to that seated position where we started class. Okay guys, I think we're at 30 minutes. Thank you all for coming to watch. I encourage you to do this every day. Oh, come here. This can also be done with pups. Thank you guys so much, and make sure you tune in for Friday for Catherine's ballet class. Happy social distancing, you guys.